Yo, welcome back to another episode of Superhero Swag. I am your host, 16 the Icon, aka Mr. Superhero Swag. And today we are gonna cover Miles Morales, Gamerverse Miles Morales from the Spider-Man 2 video game. And he is in the Boriqua suit. The Boriqua suit. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, the Boriqua suit. Now, this suit, actually, I played with this suit in the game, and I like this suit. This suit gives me Captain America vibes, even though it is the Puerto Rican flag. It is symbolizing the Puerto Rican flag because, as you know, Miles Morales is half black and half Puerto Rican. Okay. Now, he lives in the Bronx in the video game. And of course, in the video game you can wear this skin, and that's why I got this Miles Morales, because in my story, in the shorts, you will see where this suit will come into play in the story. Now, when you get this, of course, you get the Gamerverse packaging. You see right there, Miles Morales Boriqua suit. And you get the Spider-Man logo on the inside. You get a picture of Miles in the suit on the side. A picture of the suit and the suits also that you can receive. You will only see me get this, and this. I do not like the anti-venom symbiote suit or the Brooklyn 2099 suit. Those suits, they don't do anything for my universe. I only really grab, these are basically spoilers for what's going to happen in the action figure universe shorts here on 16 TV. If you've been watching those shorts, then you understand that there are things that happen in the story where Miles is going to end up in this suit eventually in that universe. And so that's why I had to grab him. Now, this is also going to be a review for another figure that I said I was going to get last out of the mini comic book wave, and that figure is up top, and that one is Miles as well. That one is Miles also. It is the classic Miles Morales suit, and that one came with, like I said, came with the mini comic book wave. And as you can see, the mini comic book wave had Banshee Rom, Miles, Ultimate Iron Man, Adam Warlock, who I still have not reviewed, but I do have him, and Daken, which is the son of Wolverine for my Dark Avengers. Now, for accessories on the classic Miles Morales, we've got the mini comic, which is the first issue that Miles appeared in Marvel Comics, which is the theme for the mini comic book wave. And then, of course, you get a nice head sculpt for Miles. And this one puts him in this one gives him, I don't know, he kind of looks like an older teen. Looks like, gives him a little more mature look to his face than the head sculpt that I got with the last Miles Morales, which looked a lot younger. Still clean shaven, but just looked a lot younger. So you get this head sculpt. And the thing that I do like, I didn't get a chance to take the hands out of here, but you get a grabby hand, a fisted hand, and a thwipping hand. And then he has a thwipping hand on this side as well. But the thing that I like about this Miles, even though my main gripe was the hips, because the hips poke out, the main thing that I like about this Miles Morales is that he is on a younger buck. So his body is smaller than the other Miles that I have. Okay, so that can put Miles in a situation where I can illustrate his growth from a younger adult into an older younger adult. And then the head sculpt on this one, he has the, there we go, he focused in. He has like the more squinting, angry look. More squinting, angry look. And the paint apps are pretty decent. He's got the butterfly joints. The butterfly joints give him a nice amount of range in the butterfly joints. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. He's also got the torso articulation that gives him enough torso articulation to do some of the things that the Maximum Spider-Man figure can do. Some of them. Let me get him into a pose where he's doing something like that. Maybe jumping over Rhino or something. But yeah, he's got boot art. He's got the boot swivel, which you know I'm big on that. He's got boot swivel, front facing pin for rocker on both feet, of course. You know we like that. But like I said, the star of the show for this figure to me would have to be the size of the buck. Like, I like the fact that he is on a smaller buck, a smaller body type. And I want to see more of that, actually. I want to see more of these smaller body types. I still am really, really heavy on, I want some civilian characters like General Thunderbolt Ross. We need an updated J. Jonah Jameson, updated Mary Jane, comic book, not animated series, Aunt May, and so on and so forth. I'd even like a Robbie Robertson and a Ben Urich figure, because in this universe, I need regular people that aren't dressed up in superhero suits, which is why I brought in the military to give you G.I. Joe. And meanwhile, in outer space, we got Star Wars figures. But this guy right here, as I was saying, he is on a much larger buck. Let me pull him out of the frame for you, get him in a standing up vanilla pose, so you can see the difference in size in this Miles and the other Miles. Let's get him up on the sidewalk so you can see him. Boom. And boom. See, he's a much larger Miles than this one. And that's what makes him the star of the show to me, because now he's got a smaller buck. I can go from him being a young teen to an older teen to a young adult. And that's cool for me because I do that type of stuff in the action figure universe. Now, the same thing with the Boriqua suit. He's got double jointed pinless knees. He's got the boot swivel, double jointed pinless elbows. His butterfly joints aren't as extensive as the comic book wave Miles, though. But like I said, I like this suit. I swing around with this suit in the game. Gives me Captain America vibes. And I have a whole surprise for you guys with a group that you've never seen before in Marvel Comics, because it is a kit bashed action figure group that I put together myself. And they're going to be a huge part of the story going forward. But yeah, these two figures are pretty cool. They are going to go into my action figure universe, so I needed these suits. And like I said, there's other action figures that will come along out of this wave. That Kingpin, definitely had to get that Kingpin. That Kingpin was fire. So I have that on pre-order. Black Cat, that will be the Black Cat of my universe instead of your classic Black Cat, because things are different in the action figure universe than in your classic 616. Now, giving people their flowers. This diorama is the New York, see how it says Graffiti the Bronx. I did that because we got Miles, two Mileses, and he, you know, lives in the Bronx. So this diorama is the New York City building, one of the New York City building dioramas from Extreme Sets Dioramas. And it is a two-story, I mean, at least within their scale, within 1/12 scale. It is a two-story building. The door does open. If you push it right there, I could open it. All right, but you get the idea. Yeah, the door does open like so. And it has this sidewalk piece. So you can take the sidewalk piece off and do it a different way and make it look like it's the top of a regular building. I did that in one of my Moon Knight shorts. If you check that out, was that a Moon Knight short? Yeah, I believe it was. No, it might have. Yeah, it was a Moon Knight short. It's a Moon Knight short. Check out those shorts on here on 16 TV and check out that action figure universe. I'm sure you'll get a nice eyebrow raise out of it. It's very interesting and entertaining. But yeah, these two figures, yeah, I'm digging both of these two figures. I'm actually not as bothered by this Miles's hips as I thought I would be. It's not that bad, but it is highly visible that his hips are sticking out like that, you know. But the drop down hips do give him more range to be able to do those crazy poses that they do when they're swinging. And confession, I have 2 of the Maximum Spider-Man now because there's something that I'm going to do coming up in one of the scenes where I need multiple Spider-Man. And so I have 3 Spider-Man now and I'm working on 4. But yes, this has been a review of both the Miles Morales mini comic book wave, Ultimate Spider-Man, regular, his classic suit with the smaller buck, teen buck. Digging it more than I thought I would. With the nice detailed head sculpt for Miles. Just a nice chill vanilla pose right there. He's got himself blended up. Should have gave him a fade though. That would have been dope. And then you've got this one in the Boriqua suit. And just in case people were wondering, because I know I wondered when I took it out of the box, yes. Yeah. The head from the unmasked head from the comic book wave Miles does fit on the Boriqua suit Miles. So this will be coming soon. You already know. This will be coming soon. The texture on this thing is nice. They've got it nice and textured, at least on this part, the blue part. You can still feel the webs and you can feel the star. It is actually sculpted. Nice sculpt work. You can feel the grooves in the material for the black part, the neck part of the webs on the suit as well. I'm probably going to do something a little different with these hands though, because the hands are all red with no black. And that's just not Miles. So let's do this real quick before we get out of here, because you know I'm big on kit bashing and changing things up from the norm. So let's see what it looks like if we take and put the red and black gloves on him instead of just the all black, instead of just the all red. The all red looked kind of boring. That didn't look like Miles to me. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Because the other ones were just all red. You know what I mean? At least now he's just got the red. I don't know if I like that either though. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I'll figure something out though. What do you think about these two figures? The Boriqua suit Miles Morales Gamerverse Spider-Man 2 action figure, or the Ultimate Spider-Man from the mini comic book wave. Which one do you think you would pick up first? What's your first choice? How do you rate them? Me, I'm going to rate the mini comic book wave one because of the hips. I'm going to give it a 7.5 because I can't give it that close to a 10 with those hips sticking out like that. So I'll give it a 7.5, 8. And for the Boriqua suit, I'm going to give it a solid 9. A solid 9. Only the reason it didn't get a 10 is because the butterfly joints need to come back a little bit further. And then, but this crunch right here, though, is not a bad crunch. And with the video game figure, I mean, he's articulated pretty decent, but I think what they should do is normalize having Spider-Man figures with the drop-down hips. All Spider-Man characters should be articulated like that because they are very athletic and acrobatic characters. But I'm not going to hold you for too much longer. This has been a review of the Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales mini comic book wave action figure, as well as the Miles Morales Spider-Man 2 Gamerverse Boriqua suit Miles Morales. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.